That's my very first, that's my premiere, and I'm so happy I have here James Wedmore, whom I follow for so long time. I subscribed to his video channel. I bought a lot of his programs, the early programs and the following programs. So what's your story? You had such an amazing transformation in your life.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, you say it's a transformation, but really was baby steps for me. The short version of the story was that I was a bartender. I went to film school, but I was a bartender paying the bills, and realized I didn't want to be a bartender for the rest of my life. So I looked to the internet and came up with an idea to create an online bartending school. And this was back in 2007. So I started putting videos of me bartending and teaching people how to bartend on a site called YouTube. And took a long time, 6 months of just super hard work and focused energy. And 6 months later, I made my very first sale. And the person who bought is from Arlington, Texas. And it said at the bottom of the order form, "How did you hear about us?" And their answer was YouTube. And that's what really started it all for me, was discovering how do I use YouTube, how do I use this visual medium of video to communicate my message, to teach others, share my story, and help people. And it's just been an evolution from there of teach people YouTube, teach people how to make videos, what to say in their videos, how to get their story across in video. And yeah, now I've been doing it for 7+ years.
Awesome. And you mentioned story. So how story is important for your YouTube message?
So story is important because, you know, I'm not the only one doing this. And a lot of people come to me and they say things like, "I want to do something like this," but I feel like the marketplace is crowded. It's very saturated. Someone's already doing this. There's already a lot of competition. And there's a great TED Talk by a gentleman by the name of Simon Sinek, and he says, people don't buy what you do until they know why you do it. And that's your story. That's the thing that makes you unique, because we are story-driven animals, creatures, you know, that's how our brains are wired. There's actually studies that have been done that say how much more our brain is activated as soon as we go into story listening mode. You know, so I could be telling you the secrets of the universe, the 7 steps to, you know, getting anything you want, but and you're interested and you're intrigued, but the moment I tell a story about that, I create context and intrigue and interest, and your brain gets so much more activated. So we know storytelling is powerful, but then we have to ask the question, well, what's the most effective medium or tool for communicating a story? And it's hands down, it's video. I mean, it's why Hollywood is the industry that it is today, because it's simply an industry built off of the selling of stories through video. And we as entrepreneurs and business owners need to need to be telling our story, and we need to be telling it with video, because that's how we communicate our why and our vision to our ideal customers.
And how to tell this story in a short way then? Because, you know, you can go, and especially when it's your personal story, you just start, and then 10 minutes later or 1 hour later, you're still at the first turning point.
Yeah. So I would say it is a challenge to get started if you want to tell your story for the first time, because our stories can be so long. You know, they're years and years. I mean, you asked me my story. I could have chosen any myriad of things. I was a bartender. I worked for another business and I was fired. I worked for my dad in real estate and I was fired. There's all these little milestones that happen in our lives that define us, that make us who we are, that give us a breakthrough or a new way in which we see the world. And I think the first step is identifying all those, to just write them all out and see what are the moments, like specific moments. Not just like, for 5 years I was this and 3 years I was this, but like, what were those tipping point moments that changed everything for you? Someone said something to you. You know, I lost 70 pounds. I was a pretty big, hefty boy. And there was a tipping moment for me where I lost all the weight. I lost 70 pounds. And I was hanging out with my mom at a hotel, and I go, I'm going to go to the pool. And I took my shirt off, and my mom goes to me and she goes, "Whoa, son, you need to lose some weight." And that shifted everything for me. So when I tell my weight loss journey, I said, that's the moment that happened. But we've all seen those infomercials that happen at 2 a.m. in the morning. People are selling the magic weight loss, the ab roller machine. And the thing that we love is those before and after photos. You see someone who's like really overweight, like I was, and then you see the after, and they're like in the greatest shape of their life, and they're happy, and they've got a tan, and you know their hair's done. And what your story needs to do is ultimately convey the before and after of either you or your ideal customer. So what were you before? And using emotion and experiences to convey the things that were unwanted in your life. Like, I was overweight. I had a lot of acne. I just didn't look attractive. I didn't feel good. Low energy. That's the before. And then the after, you know, where I got down to like, you know, the leanest body weight that was still healthy, like 10%. I put a little bit of it back on. But I was running like half marathons and like working out every day and had all this like boundless energy. And then when you describe that before and after, it creates this big question mark for, well, how did you go from before to the after? And that's where you create that intrigue. And your why is then created from that. Because I believe that anybody and everybody that has overcome something that was a challenge in their life, they feel a sense of duty and desire to show others how they did that. And you'll notice anybody who is a teacher, a coach, an author, they're doing what they're doing today because they had to go through that themselves, because they know the pain and they know what's on the other side. And if we have a desire or a commitment to help somebody else, or if you're searching for someone to help you, you're only going to say yes to choose to work with that business or that brand or that author or speaker because you go, wow, this person really gets me. And when that connection is made, that's where all the magic happens. Yeah.
You're so good, you're so professional, and you have this great, hilarious sense of humor that you can really translate into video, which is awesome. But do you know why people really buy from you?
I do, because I asked them. And they bought because of their relationship that I created with them. So I like to say, invest in your customer and your audience before they invest in you. You know, a lot of people aren't willing to put in the time, the effort, or the value on the front end, unless they're like, well, he better buy or she better, you know. And when you do that from a place of total detachment, of just like, whether you ever become a customer of mine or not, here's advice, or here's how I want to help you, or here's time I want to give you, that creates a relationship that even if we're not a right fit, you're talking about me, you're sharing me. And we're at an event with 1,200 people, and I've had people come up to me and say, I was just talking about you to so-and-so and said they got to meet you. And they want to provide back because I've in some way impacted them. And it was even at a free level of just free content, free videos, free advice, anything. And that's really what it comes down to. So people will buy from you once they have that relationship. And that relationship is created through you giving first, investing in them first.
And sharing your story.
And of course, sharing your story. Absolutely. That makes it all relevant. That creates the context in which people can relate and connect with you.
Thank you, James, so much. I'm so happy. I still can't believe it's actually getting place. Can you believe it's the very first of my video in my life, and I got this awesome guy here with me, James Wedmore, and you just go and subscribe to his channel and you'll get awesomeness sauce from the videos, and that's for free, and some are paid, but even if you will pay, you will have that will be the return of investment. It will be just amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.